Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for this Unlocking Kiwisaver webinar. My name is Paul de Klerk, and this one is going to be a fun one. The knowledge I'm going to share with you is absolutely crucial for any Kiwisaver investor out there. And I won't keep you long either. I'm going to run through the information pretty quickly tonight, and then you can receive a recording of it later. You can watch it back again to your heart's content. But I won't keep you long tonight. Let's just dive into this. First of all, the disclaimer: nothing in this presentation is intended as personal financial advice. So before you make any financial decisions, to speak to a registered advisor such as myself. And for a disclosure statement, you could visit my website, paurdeclark.co.nz/disclosure. So the goal today, really, I want to talk about how to increase or fast track your KiwiSaver balances as much as we can. Inflation and the cost of living has created a tough economic environment for many, many people. And in response, most people I meet, at least, have had to tighten their belt significantly, and some have even lost their jobs. Now, while the situation does feel like it's never going to end, there is light at the end of this tunnel, and better times are around the corner. But in the meantime, I just want to try to help you find some ways to spend less money on things like life insurance so that you can rather continue to save as much as possible into your KiwiSaver funds. Now, why am I going to pick on life insurance though? Because even though we need it, and for all sorts of good reasons we need it, for many people it becomes the first thing they look at that's on the chopping block when they're trying to cut costs out of the household. I don't want you to lose your cover or even reduce your cover. I just want you to spend less for it so that you can reallocate that spend. So yeah, that's what I just mentioned now. So to be clear, I'm not trying to reduce your life cover. I'm just trying to reallocate that spend towards your financial future. So I'm going to demonstrate today live using the actual insurance company's own quote software how life insurance brokers, any life insurance broker, they can actually save you a lot of money. Now, how is your life insurance premium determined? This is an important question so you can get a context of how we're going to do this. You might not know this, but your life insurance premium is based on seven risk factors: your age, your gender, your health history, your smoking status. Do you smoke cigarettes or not? What sort of work you do, occupation, the structure of the cover, and the profitability of the business. Now, obviously, we don't have a lot of control over these things, except maybe, do we want to smoke cigarettes or not? Even the structure of the cover, where there are ways that you can structure things that will save you a lot of money. I can show you some, give you some guidance on that. But we can't control how old we are, what our gender is, what our health history is, and the profitability of the business. But these are generally risk factors now that are determining our premium. But there is a seventh factor that people don't know. The ultimate and final decider of how much premium you're going to pay is not made by the insurer. It's actually made by the broker. All right. So commission, it typically makes up to 35% of the premium that you're spending. So you can see there's some wiggle room here to negotiate. So a full commission rate charged by the broker would mean a full premium. Full premium is going to be charged. If they reduce the commission, then the premium gets reduced accordingly and it's permanently reduced. It's not one of these 1 or 2 or 3 month promos. It's reduced forever for the life of the policy. So the question then becomes, well, how much commission are we talking about, right? This helps us to figure out how real this opportunity is for you to save money to your KiwiSaver and reduce your premium. So let's just get into that in a little bit. What are life insurance brokers paid? And don't get me wrong, life insurance brokers, they do great work. They do important work. It's a very, very needed service. But generally speaking, life insurance brokers are paid between 200% and 230% of the annual premium that you are charged, right? So plus there's an ongoing regular trail commission of between 7 to 10% of that premium that gets paid on an ongoing basis. So to bring this home, for every $100 a month you spend, the broker gets between 2,400 and 2,000, almost 800 of the upfront commission gets paid over, plus the trail commission. So if you are, say, spending $400 a month in your life and your trauma and your income protection and all these good things, If you spend that when you take out the policy, the broker's typically going to get anywhere between 9,600 to about $11,000 upfront commission plus that trail. So you can see there's a lot of fat on the bone here, meat on the bone to be able to negotiate a better rate, right? And the broker can still do pretty well after reducing that rate. So what is the effect of reducing this commission? So if a broker reduces the commission, they still get paid well, and you can save as much as 20% on that premium. So for each $100 you spend, the premium comes down to $80. It's 20% saving. And the broker, instead of getting that $2,400, he gets $768, about approximately. So 80% of the annual premium instead of 230% of the annual premium. That's what the broker will get paid. All right. So if a normal quote is $400 a month, say, you can then bring it down to $320 a month, saving you $80. So the broker still gets $3,000 commission for their efforts for doing that, right? Now, what is the value to you of the saving of putting this into KiwiSaver? So if we take, I'm just going to use that $80 now of saving as an example, right? So if we take that $80 saving as an example of what's possible, you put it into KiwiSaver. Now, I'm a bit of a maths geek when it comes to investments. I'm going to apply the future value formula for investments and show you what this means. So that will be the formula there for all the math people following along. But you're going to have a monthly contribution of an extra $80. An annual growth rate is assumed of 10% per year compounding, which is very, very achievable if you look at the long-term trends of the markets. And then we'll pay them once a month. So $80 will get paid once a month, not once a week or once a day. And then we'll do this for, say, 20 years. Right. So you can see it describes a lot of people out there. You follow this formula based on what you save on the life insurance. We're talking about an extra almost $61,000 by the time you reach retirement, extra over and above or more than what you would have had otherwise. So you can see now the stakes are high, and it's very much in our interest to try to pursue this, at least consider it very, very closely. Right. So I'm going to do now a quote for myself. Right. So I'm going to whoop open the software. Where is it? Here is the live software, and I'm going to just do it now live within the company. Now, I'm going to use a company called Partners Life for only one reason, and that is their quote software is actually very quick to spit out the number. So if I just put in my details really quick, I'm Paul de Klerk. I'm 46 years old. I do not smoke cigarettes, and I am a financial advisor principal. I own the company, and I work full time. Okay. So I want to add on some cover for me. I'm going to make it say life insurance. Now, I'm just going to, for sake of a round number, put in $1 million. I know that's not a lot of money in New Zealand these days, if you consider how expensive New Zealand is, but let's just say $1 million round number. If I were to get that, my premium would be $122 a month. That's just for the life cover, right? So that's not for things like if I add on more cover, you've got your terminal illness, trauma insurance, total disablement, and then you've got income protection. There's all sorts of a suite of things. I'm just talking about life insurance for now. $122 a month, and then plus trauma, plus income protection, or whatever else. So that's the full commission rate. That's what the full upfront here means. If I change that down to nil, that's going to save 20% on the premium. But how? Why does the premium reduce by 20%? Well, because the commission that's going to go to the broker who puts this together, that is what's now going to determine the end price. So this is why I mean it's really the setting here. The broker has the final say as to what the premium is going to be, and all brokers have that facility. So now, if I click calculate, it's going to go from 122 down to $99 a month. All right. So that is one route. But I did talk about the structure of a policy as well. So if I say, let me just go back to the normal upfront here and just show you what I mean by structure and how you can save money there as well. What if we don't want to get the full $1 million paid out immediately, right? Let's just make that a quarter million. And then the rest of the money we can get paid out monthly over time. I'm going to make it $3,000 gets paid out every month for 15 years, growing at 5% per year. The two together is still $1 million, actually more than $1 million worth of value. It's just that a big chunk of it is going to get paid out monthly over time, which suits a lot of people, especially if you don't have things like a big mortgage. Oops, and let me draw a better house. Let's just say you don't have a big mortgage on a house. It's really the income, your lost income for your family, your kids, and whatever that you're trying to protect, then those monthly payments make a lot of sense. But then instead of it being the $122 a month at normal full commission, it will then be $97 a month. Look at that. So it's gone from $122 a month. If I took the full $1 million in one big hit, lump sum payment, it comes down to $97 a month, which is even more than 20% saving. Look, I've not even actually reduced the commission yet. Now I reduce the commission back down to nil. It goes down to 79.90. We've got a policy now that's gone from $122 per month for $1 million life insurance down to under $80 a month for me. And the value is still $1 million. And that's all I want people to know out there. There are options, there are things that you can do. And that's quite a hefty saving. That's $40 a month worth of saving. And I've not even added on income protection. I've not added on trauma insurance. I've not added on medical. All these good things that we all know that we need. So you can see the savings. If you extrapolate this, the savings can be rather significant. Yeah. So let me just move on and just go through the numbers here then. Here's what I did. I did $1 million worth of life insurance for me as an example. The full commission rate would be $122 a month to me. It's the premium I would pay. The broker would get paid just over $3,000 in commission, right? Or if the broker reduced that commission, instead of paying 122, I would be paying just under 100. Then the commission comes down to 876. I guess in my mind, that is you cannot argue that that is quite a drop. To ask somebody to go from $3,000 down to $876, it's quite a chunk, but then it becomes a little bit understandable why we don't actually get this presented too much. I get it, but then there are very good brokers out there that are completely happy with that, who would still say, well, that's still a lot of money. And so there's an opportunity there. The other way I did this was instead of getting $1 million upfront, get a quarter million instead, plus $3,000 per month for 15 years. That's still $1 million worth of total value life insurance. At the full commission rate, it's 97 a month. At the reduced commission rate, it's 79 a month. So still $1 million policy, but why spend 122 a month if you can spend 79.90? And so on and so forth. That's really what I want to highlight. From there, one thing I would like you to consider, even though you're going to make that saving, let's not put that into Kiwisaver. We want to put it into a mirrored Kiwisaver instead. Okay. Kiwisaver, you get your employer and your government contributions. So you're going to get 3% put in from you, 3% from your employer, and then a bit from the government as well. All of that you're putting in, that money is going to be locked away until age 65 or until you buy your first home. So there's no accessibility to any of that money when you need it if a disaster or some sort of financial emergency were to happen. A mirrored KiwiSaver fund. This means you invest your savings with the same asset allocation and strategy as KiwiSaver. It's the same thing, the same strategies, but if there is no lock-in at all to that money. You can withdraw the money whenever you need it without asking anyone for permission to do so. So all of those extra savings you're going to make on the life insurance, you can put it into the KiwiSaver. That's fine, but I would suggest rather consider a mirrored KiwiSaver because then you have access to that money if you want to retire earlier, or you get very sick, or you lose your job and now you need access to, life happens before we retire. At least you have access to some really, really good resource. Okay. So now just let's talk about who are the top growth funds out there right now. In the investing world, that we have a saying, right? That words talk, but numbers scream. And so it's really looking at those numbers to see who are the top performing growth funds. This is a very, very important thing. And I just want to show, let me bring it over so you can see what it is that I'm talking about. Where is it now? Here it is. Bring it over. Now, I do a report every single month where I go to all the different not insurers, but all the different KiwiSaver providers, and I pick the top growth funds and I report based on their numbers how they are doing. So this is for the last 12 months to the end of November, because that's when most people have reported until. All right. Keep the context that the wider benchmarks, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, which is the stock markets, have grown by 23 to 22% in the last 1 year. So you would hope that your KiwiSaver has at least matched that. Okay. So anyone can go onto my website and keep track of this. But NZ Funds has retained, and they are still in the top place for growth funds, 28.59% growth for the last 12 months. Now, they've been up there for so long, though. This is not a flash in the pan. It's kind of almost getting boring at this point, just how much they've grown. The next closest is AMP, which is interesting because AMP, they down the list and they up the list and then they down again. I prefer somebody to be very stable. I don't like this whole up and down thing. But look at the difference, though. First place is 28%. The next place is 4% lower, 4.5% lower. So 4.5%, when we're talking about money like this, that's quite a big gap. It's quite a big gap. And so now you can go through this list to see where yours is at. ANZ, interestingly, is at the bottom of the list. It's 16%. Now, if you didn't know any better, and you see, and you with ANZ, and you see, well, I've got 16% growth this year without the context of seeing anything else, you think, well, that's fantastic. But not in the context of the number one performer is almost 30%, and the wider market is 23% plus. So, what is my message? My message is it's time to review things. January, in the start of the year, is an excellent time to do this. If you do not have anyone that you can talk to about your KiwiSaver, there's no reason to be a Lone Ranger client trying to figure this world out by yourself. Give me a call, or just speak to me. I'm always free, and I can guide you through all the implications and inconsiderations that you might want to know about. You guys are welcome. You can go click on any one of these links here to see the source of all of these numbers. Okay, so now that is who the top growth funds are. Next steps, if you do want to bring your KiwiSaver to me with NZ Funds, you'll never need to do any of this complex navigation of the investment world on your own again. There's just a very easy link. It's a part of my website that you can't actually find just by navigating to it. You need to know where it is. So it's pauldeclerc.co.nz/apply. All you do is you fill out your personal details here that I would need. You need your IRD number and your driver's license handy. Let me know what you do for work, and then fill out some risk-based questions, your risk tolerance and your risk capacity questions. If you don't know what that is, or you're trying to figure that out and you need some guidance, just speak to me. I'm happy to run you through what your risk tolerance and your risk capacity is and why it's relevant and all these good things. But this is the application form. If you do want to speak to me, though, I have a booking link. You can see book an online meeting on my website. I'm always free. You can just scroll down and you can just choose the KiwiSaver advice meeting. And yeah, just click on that and choose a day and time. You get access to my diary with this. Just choose a day and time that suits you, and I'll be there. So all very, very easy things there. That's um, to book a meeting with me. If you do actually, now that we've spoken about the life insurance stuff, my goal, I'm an investment advisor. So my end game is I want to see your KiwiSaver and your mirror funds grow to the max. I'm not as fussed about any money or trying to earn money from life insurance. That's why I'm willing, even though I have access and I have agencies for life insurance, I'm willing to cut that commission to try to get you ahead in those savings. So you can go to my website at /life. Let's bring that up as well. Actually, let's just see where that was. Life, yeah, it'll take you to this. So if you're wanting me to quote you, I'm just going to automatically put um, that savings rate into the quote that I send you, and you can just see how much will be relevant to you. If you have an existing policy, just flick it over to me, and at least I'm trying to quote apples for apples. as well there. Just let me know what do you want added? Life insurance, trauma, income protection, whatever you need. Okay. So that's really the gist of it all. And so I hope that that was helpful to you guys. And so let me know what you think. I will be sending out a recording to everybody as well. But I'm looking forward to getting your feedback and to seeing what you think of this. This is, I know, something that a lot of people don't know about, that this is something that's possible. But just let me know how you go and what you think of this. I'm always here to book a meeting with me. I'll be there with you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great time out there. I look forward to hearing from you soon.